Hey guys, this is Bird's Eye Tarot. I'm so excited to be performing a reading for you today where I am talking about the next phase of your life. Where you've been, first of all, and where you're going, and where you are right now as well. So we're going to talk about what's to come for you, what's happened in your life to lead you up to here, and how what's happening right now is leading to the energy of the future, right? And the future is not set in stone. The energy of the present is directing to a certain place or situation in the future. But the thing is if you change that energy, or if the energy is changed in one way or another, then it's going to redirect. It's going to go into a new direction. And so if you don't like what you're going to hear today, or if you do, regardless, you have the power to change that, or at least to direct it in such a way that even if what is predicted comes to pass, you have the power to harness that and to make it the best it can possibly be for you. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna speed this up because I forgot my crystals. Actually, I'm not gonna use crystals. I'm gonna use something else. But I'll be right back. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna pick one of these cards, and whatever card you pick is gonna be the card for your pile. So we're gonna have 3 piles. Pile 1 is Samadhi. These are the yogic oracle cards, by the way. Pile 2 is Pitta, or Pitta, I'm not sure. And group 3, pile 3 is Asana. So, for just pick either group or pile 1, Samadhi, pile 2, group 2, Pitta, or Asana, group 3, okay? So the links will be in the description and the comments, so I'll see you there. So if you pick Samadhi, this is your reading. Thank you so much. So let's just, real quick, I'm gonna get the energy of this card. So what I see here, there's a lot of blue and purple, so that's a lot of divine energy that's surrounding you. There's a lot of divine guidance in your life. And I think that because Samadhi is a deep state of peace and meditation might be a really great thing for you in your life. It might be a great practice for you to start integrating into your life if you haven't already, or maybe it's already something very important for you. And especially, particularly, excuse me, opening the heart center, because we have here the heart center highlighted. So opening the heart center might be a really good thing to focus on in the coming weeks, days, months, years, okay? And also going with the flow, seeing how this image is very flowy. It's as if the energy from the heart center is going out and flowing with the universe. It's very much in sync, right? So trying to become more in sync with the universe around you, okay? So, let's get started. So we're gonna use, I think we're gonna use the After Tarot. I haven't used it in a while. So, let's see. So for group 1, universe, what is, their past, their present, and their future, and the advice for them? Okay, past, present, future, and the advice. The past, the present, the future. And then we're gonna get 2 more to clarify each of those. Actually, I didn't make any room for the advice. So also advice, please, Spirit. the past, present, future again to clarify for the group that picked Samadhi. Only advice, please. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise. That's my neighbors. I live in Spain, so people here are very, how can I say, they have a lot of energy when they speak. So in your past, you got the 10 of coins. So there was a lot of you might have come from a prosperous family, or maybe a family that really focused on prosperity, really focused on the earthly things in life. Especially with this child here, maybe you had there's a pet. Yeah, you have a pet from your childhood, very likely that is watching over you now, and yeah, they're here watching for you, watching out for you, and trying to give you messages, just give you spirit messages, because yeah, with the Five of Swords reversed, I think there are things that you regret in your past. And there were people who hurt you. There were people who took advantage of you, and there are just things that you you know, you've had some trauma, you know, and with this, I'm hearing that this pet actually is hoping to guide you to a better future. It's trying to help you see what it is that's so wonderful about you, and the reason they loved you so much. Because they don't want you to focus on what happened in your past, what happened with these people to make you feel this way, and to make you feel like you're the only thing that's valuable about you is how much you can make, or the earthly possessions you have, or your body, or yeah, it could be, for some of you, it could be body issues. People really were really hard on you about your body, maybe about your weight or something like that, and this pet is so cute. It just wants you to know that you are so much more beautiful, so much more worthy than you can possibly know, and that these things in your past, they might be hard to overcome, but it's worth the journey. It really is. So in your present, we have the the Four of coins reversed, and here, I think you're trying to save yourself from something. You're trying to, first of all, you might be like trying to save money a lot right now. You might be trying to save something in general. You might be holding back as well, and maybe you might be getting to the point where you've already saved enough, and now it's time for you to move forward. Now it's time for you to try to actually do something with what you've accumulated. And I feel like these past issues that you had have brought you here to this sort of need and desire to always be looking out for your physical security, and always like feeling the need to always feeling the need to save your pennies, or to do another workout, or to have I hear food issues. So to continue, maybe looking at food in a certain way. And with the Nine of Wands here, I see that you are a survivor, though. And you know that. You know that you've survived a lot. And you know that the people that were in your past that hurt you, you know that it's not worth focusing on them anymore, but you just don't feel like you can help it. Because you still have the battle scars. You still wear those scars, and you might wear them very proudly, of this difficult past. And so, and by the way, I think that a lot of you will be earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, oh Lord, Capricorn, Virgo, and what? Uh, well, anyway, I can't think of it right now. I swear I know this. Anyway, you might be an earth sign. But regardless, I think that I feel like here's this very slow moving energy, and then here is this very fast moving energy. And it's like underneath it all, you're trying to make things go faster than they really can. But it's almost like contradictory because how you act is very slow, very, very intentional. But underneath it all, you feel very pressed to push yourself forward into a certain direction that somebody else has programmed you to going. And I don't think it's fair for you to put so much pressure on yourself, and then and also expect yourself to be so disciplined in your physical worlds. It's a very contradictory energy. It's like there's two parts of you that are very much not in sync, and they could be, even though these energies are very different, they could work together, but I don't see them working together quite yet. I think that's something you're still working on. So let's see what's going to happen in your future. Okay, we have the Tower reversed, and we have the Empress. Very interesting. So I think these beliefs that you've had, that people are going to leave you no matter what you do, that that all you are worth is the value, the physical value that you put out into the world, that you have to always carry the burden and be the survivor and be the strong one. I think that this belief is going to come crashing down sooner or later. I think that you've been really trying to avoid this. You've been trying to avoid this inevitable crashing down of your of these beliefs, of this lifestyle that you're living, that is you're doing your very best. That's not, I don't want you to think that you're not. But at the same time, I think that there are things inside of you that you are trying to avoid. And so what the Empress and the Tower reverse are trying to say is that it's not helping you, and it's not in your best interest to continue in this exact same way, to continue putting so much pressure on yourself to succeed, that honestly it might have the inverse effect, because you're putting so much pressure on yourself that other people have put on you, that now it's very hard to grow the things that you want to grow, to produce those physical goods, or that physical security that you want to produce, because it's like you're too stressed, you're too anxious, and it causes so much turmoil within you. But this cannot continue. This cannot last. But I do see, as far as the energy is going right now, you keep holding it back. You keep holding back this Tower moment. And I think that it's a Tower moment that needs to happen. I think there's a reckoning. I can't say that. A reckoning that needs to happen. And you might live on a farm. You might live. You might. Again, I see pets here. A lot of times, this can be about animals, and so I think that I think that animal spirits are going to be very helpful for you. Channeling animal spirits, talking to your past pets, or even taking care of your current pets. Their free spirit is going to help you open up and become this empress in the upright. Okay, and it doesn't matter about your gender either. The empress is an energy we all would love to carry with us, because she is pleasure, she's comfort, she is abundance, and that's what you've been wanting all along. And I think once you let go of this pressure that you put on yourself, you're going to find the abundance that you want. You really are. So the advice, we have the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. Okay. So I think that you are going, you allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to imagine what a better life is for you, what it would look like, what it would feel like, what that would taste like. Because once you start to allow yourself to dream, you will be able to start seeing how it can be possible without putting so much pressure on yourself. I think that right now you don't have very much vision about what your future is going to look like. And I think that Spirit is just trying to tell you that once you find that vision, once you start to dream, once you start to let your mind wander in positive places, not just in the past, but, intentionally, mindfully allow your mind to wander, get creative, find these creative ideas, and start to put them into action, but without the pressure. Do it in your own time, and try not to let the voices of the people from your past or even your present that have traumatized you and hurt you. Try not to let those voices be the ones that are dictating what you're doing anymore. Okay, because you don't need to plan too much. It's not time yet. What you need to do is get the proper vision. Once you get the proper vision, this tower is going to come down, but it's going to be a good thing. It's not going to be a scary thing. And you will find what you are looking for. All this that you're trying to get is going to come together once you can really let go of the ridiculous expectations that you put on yourself. Okay, so let's get a witch oracle and a wisdom of the oracle. Redundant. Okay, so for actually we're gonna get a witch oracle and a green witch oracle. So for group 1, for I think it was Samadhi, right? Give us one witch oracle, please. We have Bell, awakening. So yeah, you are really coming towards an awakening right now. It's so palpable to me. It's like there are bells ringing in your mind just from watching this. I'm getting chills right now because yes, you already know this. And that's what's great about tarot and about readings in general, is that when even if you didn't consciously know something, when you start to hear something that's true for you, bells start to ring in your mind and you start to understand, oh, okay, yeah, that is me. That is what's happening. That is where I'm going, and that feels right. And so I don't know what this flower is, but I love how that looks. And it's like a little tree creature, like chilling with his rabbit friends. I think they're bluebells, I guess. Oh, that's interesting, because I just saw that in England there was some like ancient bluebells that I don't know if you can hear my neighbors, but they're so loud. There are these ancient bluebells that are like appearing on this hill, and they haven't come out in hundreds of years, and I thought that was so cool. So anyway, maybe it's that there's this part of you, this inner child, maybe even, that is starting to be awakened, and that will be awakened once you allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to think some great things about yourself, allow yourself to see a good future for yourself, because why not? You're the only one who's living your life. You're the only one who's here having to experience what you experience. So you might as well experience it, in the best way possible, right? You might as well expect the best because, I mean, why not? There's, it doesn't actually make sense um, to continue to believe that you're on the path to destruction because it's not true. Of course, we're all going to have difficult moments. We're all going to have tower moments, but 90% of the time, 99% of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, some readers do, but I don't think so. I think there are bad things that genuinely happen. But for you, that's not what this is about. This is about that you have so much potential for wonderful things to happen in your future, and they will happen. But you have to start actually allowing yourself to believe that and realizing that that's the only logical thing. Because I do feel like you're a very logical person, and I feel like if you really think about it, that's the only logical thing to do is to believe the best for yourself, because you're the only one who is going to be experiencing your own life. Then we have courage, which is time. Thyme, by the way, from the Greenwich Oracle. And I'm going to read the book for this because I love this little book. It's so cute. So that's card 13. Right? So courage, time. Time is goddess. If you've never experienced the joy of accomplishing more than you can imagine, plant a garden. Oracle meanings: have faith in your own abilities and take steps and leaps forward with confidence. You can do this, and you should. As the energies of time are not only showing positivity but also a little mystical assistance afforded to you, if you are seeking an answer, it is positive as long as you act now. Okay, yeah. Failure to believe or care deeply enough can result in failure and delay. What did I just say? Is that insane? This always happens when I use this deck. It's like whatever I said in the tarot is is echoed back to me. It's such a wonderful synchronicity and confirmation. So, magical correspondences for time are boost activity, happiness, affection, courage, and strength. Some deities that you might work with, or I guess magical creatures, fairies, Aphrodite, Gethion, I can't say that, Nehalenia, and Venus. The celestial body is Venus, and the astrological sign of time is Libra. So this is a courage spell that you can do to help you get through these latent issues, right? Okay, so create an aura of attraction around you with this hair decoration. Hopefully you have hair. If not, then maybe you can put it in your ear, like, by your ear. Secure fresh or dried thyme sprigs to hairpins with floral tape. I think florist tape it says, but floral tape sounds better. And tuck it into your hair to create simple or elaborate designs. The added benefit is that you should be able to see fairies when wearing thyme in your hair, especially if the sprigs are flowering. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. If you don't have hair, I think that you could just do this on your ear, like I said. But anyway, group 1, I think that's all. So if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, whatever, leave them in the comments below. Please like and share this and subscribe to my channel because I would love to see you here all the time. And I love you so much for watching. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, pile 2, if you chose the Pitta card, then this is your reading. So first of all, the energy of this card, I'm going to tell you what Pitta is, but also I'm just going to start by looking. So with this green energy and this fire, it's like there's a lot of earth and fire within you. And I think that you go really deep. You don't look at things from just the surface level, but you go very deep. You don't see people just from the things that they do, but you see people with also a vision of their energy. and of who they truly are in their heart. And that's something that's a gift, a talent for you. Okay, but Pitta is one of the three Ayurveda doshas, um, which if you would like to, you can go and on Google and search for Ayurvedic doshas. But in the yogic tradition, there's actually 5 elements: air, fire, water, earth, and space. And Pitta is a mixture of the fire and water elements. And I'm just going to read you what it says here from somatheorem.org. Fiery Pitta types are distinguished by being quick on the uptake and by their powerful intellect and ambition. These are born leaders, brimming with energy and strength, and with the tendency to be perfectionist. Their drive is called passion. Their aim is to win. Pitta-influenced constitutions love a challenge, whether that's professionally or in sport. They have an athletic build, and their aura is unsurprisingly fiery. Their hands and feet are never cold, even in winter. Pitta types love sweet things just as much as bitter flavors, and they love cold drinks. So you may not even be Pitta, which, I mean, it's fine, because I think we have a little bit of everything within us. But right now, your energy is kind of reflecting this Pitta energy, okay? So anyway, let's get to reading. Oops, I need to see it on my computer, so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna use, I think we're gonna use the Tarot Nefertari. Nefertari, excuse me. She's a really beautiful Egyptian tarot deck. So let's get the Spirit for group 2. Those who are watching for group 2 picked for group 2. Give me the past, the present, the future, and the advice, please. And then let's clarify. Past. We're gonna get a clarifier. No, past, present, future, past, present, future. If you'd like to skip this, just go ahead a minute or two. Present, future, advice. And then let's clarify each one. Oops, I didn't mean to turn that. I think that was this way though. Advice. All right, so let's see what you got. All right, oh wow, okay. So in your past, you had a lot of pain, a lot of torment. Oh wow, okay. I think the biggest thing about your past is there are things that you regret saying. There are nightmare situations that came to pass. I think maybe there was just a lot of bad luck, to be honest with you, and sometimes we do. Sometimes, some people have worse luck than others sometimes, and I mean, we do have the power to change that, but I mean, when we don't know that, that's not within our control. Until we understand how we can affect that, and we learn how to, that's not within our control, and it's easy to blame ourselves, and a lot of people want to try to do that. Thinking that it's empowering, but I don't think so. I don't think that's empowering at all to blame yourself for your past. And even if these were your mistakes, maybe everybody's made mistakes, and maybe some of this are the mistakes you've made. But now we have the chance to learn from them. Some of you may have been in jail, to be honest. That's obviously not for all of you. And there was a lot of issues with trust around authority figures for many of you. And I think that was a major theme in your life, authority issues. I think some of you may have had issues with your father as well. A trigger warning, there might have been some abuse surrounding your father. Yeah. And I think for some of you though, this could have been teachers. This could have been any authority figure that was just not good to you, or that made you feel like you weren't doing the right thing. I hear some of you didn't do super well in school as children. Maybe you have ADHD, maybe you have some anxiety issues, maybe you just are not the school type, and that's fine. That doesn't make you any less than at all. Some people are just not good with the kind of education systems that human beings offer right now. And then, so in the present, we have this new adventure. I do think there's some warning here with this cat. Like, there's always that kind of imagery in the Fool card, but I think it's especially powerful here. And you might be ignoring a warning right now, to be honest. And you're going back toward these past mistakes that you've made. And when you're trying to start something new, but for some reason you're hanging on to something that you used to do that is not going to get you where you want to go. But here's the thing. Now you know that. And now you have the opportunity to change that, right? So let's see. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. So I think maybe that was the thing. Maybe as a kid, you didn't do well in school. Maybe you were like kind of in your own head a lot and in class, and you weren't paying attention and things like that. And you still have that airy kind of vibe to you where you're kind of imagining things and hoping for things, but you're not really. You haven't figured out a way to actually do the thing yet, right? And like there's a lot of warnings happening right now. Don't go back to what you were doing, please. That's what I'm hearing. Because these authority issues are not going to be helped, and they're not going to help you in this thing to come. I don't know what that means. What it means to you, something that has no meanings for me. But some of you like to pick berries when you were a child. You filled a cup up with them. I actually used to do that, interestingly. Maybe it's blueberries. For me, it was blackberries. I think that there was a powerful authority figure in your life, however, that you did admire very, very much. And maybe they were somebody who was very, who had big dreams, but didn't really know how to put them together. And so now you're in this huge new beginning in your life. This is the seed. This is the beginning. This is just like, you're just getting a taste of this. But you're almost, I think it's not just a warning not to go back to your previous behavior or your previous beliefs, but it's also a warning. It's also you being afraid that that's going to happen naturally, even though that's not necessarily what's going to happen. Especially when you have that in your head, especially when you're conscious of the fact that you already have these tendencies. You know better now. I think that's the thing, is you already know better, and you're not going to repeat the same mistakes now that you're consciously aware of it. But you're afraid that that's going to happen. And you dream up these terrible situations, these terrible like things that might happen, like, oh my gosh, what if this happens because I do this and I always do this, so of course it's always going to lead to this, and you just need to take a breath and think, no, things are going to be different this time because I'm going to do different. I'm going to change my energy, and my energy is not going to be the same. And like, things are just not always going to be this way. And you already have a taste for that too. You already know things are changing. So that's what's so great about it, is that you already starting to feel it. So it's already starting to prove itself to you that it's coming to you. So, in the future, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. So this could be several things. You could be meeting an air sign soon who might, let's see. Yeah. You might, okay, so there's a few, I'm getting the word burden, which is not usually the burden card, but I am getting the word burden here. But I also think that there's going to be somebody who's going to try to sway your opinion, sway the way you live your life. They're going to try to change you in a certain way because they want you to do what they want you to do. And you are going to go along with it because of this. You're afraid that this authority figure is not going to accept you anymore. But the thing is, you have to stand your ground. You cannot allow other people to dictate what you are going to do and how you are going to live your life. If you do, maybe you will go back to this, and I don't want to scare you. That's not what I'm here for. But I want you to know that maybe there was a reason why you had these issues with authority when you were younger and even today. Maybe it's because you need to be your own authority, and you cannot let someone else dictate what you're going to do, whether it be a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, a colleague, a boss. You have to do it on your own. You have to go at it on your own, and you have to maintain what you are going to do, because as the energy is going right now, it seems as if you are going to allow someone else to sway what you are going to do. And you're going to allow, I almost feel like this person could be a little abusive, could be a little bit manipulative, could be somebody who says kind of spicy things, and that's a very that's minimizing on my part, to be honest. I think spicy is not the right word, but anyway, there's somebody who likes to say things for shock value, right? And that's not who you are. That's not what you want to do. And even if you do that sometimes, like that's that isn't, this person, this outside influence isn't going to lead you to the right path. And I think if this is for you, then you know who this is already, or you will very soon. If you don't know who this is, then soon enough you're going to meet this person, and you're going to say, oh my god, that's who Bird's Eye Tarot was talking about. Okay, so stand your ground. Don't let this person dictate what you're going to do. Don't let this person trigger you. And if they do trigger you, you can't help it in the moment, but you can set boundaries, okay, and not allow them in your life anymore, or not allow them to influence you in that way anymore. Okay, so your advice is the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups. I hear find love. You're gonna find love at some point, and not just love. If you already are in a committed relationship, then you're gonna start understanding love a little bit differently. You're gonna start seeing it in this way where it helps you celebrate life. And I think this new start is so interesting to me, and I don't know how to describe this energy, but it's like you're leaving this Ten of Swords gross energy in the past for good. But Spirit is trying to say that, like, you're gonna do it regardless, but you can do it faster if you can find a way to celebrate the love that you have in your life already, and to understand that you alone are enough, first of all, but also you with somebody else, collaborating with somebody else. It's serious power. There's so much power in that. There's so much power in you alone, but you're gonna find that finding the right person to collaborate with, whether it's be romantically or in business or whatever, is going to be such a power combination. And you're going to so but you have to start celebrating the little things that you do. Celebrate all the successes that you make. And also um be very aware of the people who give you true love and be aware of those who don't. And it's not that you need to focus on what these people are not doing, but the people who are doing for you what is loving and what is good. It's something that you are asked to focus on and to give gratitude for. I'm not saying that you're ungrateful, but sometimes it is easy to overlook these things when we have so much hardship on our lives already that it's like it just really overpowers things. And so the people who show you love in this life, whether it be just little small things, celebrate that. You know, if you can afford it, get them a present for their birthday, or even allow them to get you something for your birthday. If they do that, if they want to do that and they do it, then don't say, "Oh, you shouldn't have." Say, "Oh my God, thank you. I love you." You know what I mean? Like there's subtle things that you can do to change the energy surrounding yourself and your relationships. Right. So, got a few more minutes, so let's pick up Witch's Oracle card and the green Witch's Oracle card. We've got Broomstick Cleansing. Okay. So, first of all, you could do some actual cleansing. First of all, just cleaning your house is a great way to cleanse. Cleaning your body is a great way to cleanse. But also using smoke, smoke cleansing. If you are somebody who is okay with using sage, then sage. If you're not, that's fine. Palo Santo, if you're not okay with that either. Do whatever you want. You can burn any of the herbs, the aromatic herbs that you have in your garden, or if you live in a city, you can even buy your own sage plant or your own aromatic plant or plants and make a bundle yourself and use that to cleanse regularly, because there are energies that come to you when you get into this Ten of Swords energy. There are energies that come around you sometimes that do influence your behavior and your actions and the way you feel. And if you can start to cleanse on the reg, then you're going to feel better. It will be a subtle difference for you, but actually, like in the grand scheme of things, it's going to make a huge difference. Okay, so maybe we'll even figure out what's a great herb for you to use for cleansing, depending on what we pull here. So for pile 2, group 2, give us one card, please. Abundance, grapes. Okay, so we can't really use grapes for cleansing. However, I think this is just a different message. But also, I do want to say there are some people with two faces. And we all do. Let's be clear about that. There's not always anything wrong with having two faces. We all have to have different faces for different situations. That's just normal. That's human nature, and we like to use it as an insult, but it's really it depends on how far you go. There's a difference between being controlled and being an adult and having your professional side and your personal side and your loving side. That's normal. But then when there's a fine line between that and stepping out of our authenticity, and I think that's what we're seeing here. And I think that when you're seeing people who step out of their authenticity, and you can feel that, I think especially you're very intuitive, you can feel that with this moon here. You can feel it. And when you do, that's a good cue for you to set better boundaries with these people, or with this person, excuse me. So last but not least, we're going to read the card called Abundance, which is grape. Okay. And I see here we have, by the way, is that, no, that's Sagittarius. The sign of Sagittarius, you might be a Sagittarius, somebody you know might be a Sagittarius. That if it's not you, if it's somebody you know, then think about who is a Sagittarius, and maybe some of this is involving them. And then also somebody might be an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo. Oh my God, I have to look this up now. I'm sorry. Earlier I did the same thing. Earth signs. Taurus. I just had a blank. I'm sorry. Okay, so, and also somebody might be an earth sign. So let's read about abundance grape. Where did I put my book? There it is. 1, 2, 3. Okay, more grows in the garden than the gardener sows. Oracle meanings. Stay where you are and grow what you need there, as this is a fertile time and place. Grapes will indicate that magic is about, especially from the garden, so get out there, as you will find an opportunity and inspiration, family stability, happiness and tradition, and the way they can support you are all things that should be remembered and implemented. Don't be disingenuous. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, literally what I was just talking about. And be very, very careful not to cancel appointments. So that's one thing I'm hearing. I mean, I'm not just hearing, I'm reading. But also, I would say that for me, that triggers a little bit of a resonance. So I would say if you have some appointments this week, do not cancel them. Like, be just wary of that. Okay, so the magical correspondences of this are uses: fertility, wealth, mental strength, garden magic, abundance. Deities are Dionysus, Hathor, Epona, Persephone, the Muses, and the Morgan. The celestial body is the moon, and astrological sign is Sagittarius. Abundance spell. Bring abundance into your home with a grapevine arch. Plant 2 grapevines in either the ground or in 2 large pots on either side of your front door, and train on an arch or around the door frame to meet and create a vine arch. If you can't plant grapevines, be creative. Make some out of paper or paint around your door frame, and that will help bring in abundance for you. All right, group 2, thank you so much for watching this reading. I love you, and I will see you next time. Please don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get all the notifications. And if you would like a personal reading with me, I would love that. Go to my Instagram, instagram.com/birds.eye.tarot, Tarot, okay? And I would love to help you out. So next up is group 3. All right, if you chose pile number 3, asana, then this is your reading. So, let's see. I'm gonna read from the book about this asana card. But I'm gonna open my QuickTime so I can see my screen, my camera. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, but before I do, we see these birds. Birds are often a sign of air, of knowledge, of knowing. That's part of the reason for the name of my channel, because if you have an bird's eye perspective, you both are detached from it, so you don't get too attached to the outcome or anything, but also you have a full view of everything, you know, from an outside perspective. And also we have this eclipse energy here, so there's great shifts happening. Huge shifts. Probably, every pile had big shifts, but with this eclipse energy, I would say probably the biggest shifts that are happening soon are happening in this pile. And they have to do with your knowledge and your wisdom, and being able to see 2 sides of the same coin. Not being attached to one perspective, even if that perspective is socially expected, because even when, like, for example, it's always worth looking at perspectives of those who we severely disagree with, no matter what the subject is, seriously. Because that way we can find ways to find a middle ground in order to create solutions, because as long as we keep to sticking to one side without any alternative perspective, we're not going to be able to find any kind of agreement in anything that we do. Even if we're still going to go with our moral compass, of course. It doesn't mean you need to change who you are. It just means you need to put yourself in somebody else's shoes in order to understand them more. Because by understanding, we can love, and through love, we can create solutions. Also, like Group 1, meditation might be a great tool for you in order to reach this new sort of wisdom, this new transformation in your life, okay? So let's read from the book about asana. So, the 8 stages of yoga. Physical practice to sit in stillness. Your physical body holds the key to your evolvement. I think the word is evolution. But it's just the first portal. The asana, yogic body postures you have been practicing, have been preparing you for true asana, to sit in stillness with truth. These shapes and movements have removed the cobwebs of your limiting self, creating space for the silence of your mind's forest. You are one of those who realizes the true intention of asana, and the one paving the way for others to see this bodily practice and the one paving the way for others to see this bodily practice is really just a way to come face to face with yourself. Continue to cultivate your practice and move deeper into its core purpose, flow of energy in the body for the evolution of the spirit. Okay, so they use evolvement in one time and evolution in another. Interesting. So this is for yogis. If you're not a yogi, that's fine. But basically, the point of it all is to move energy in your body. So you need to start moving the stagnant energy in your body, whether it be through yoga, whether it be through exercise, whether it be through meditation, but definitely bodily movement regardless, and some kind of meditative practice as well, because the more aware we become, the more evolved we become, period. That's why meditation is so useful, is because it grows our awareness. There's a lot of diseases and mental illnesses and stuff that are all about the fact that we've detached awareness from our lives. So we try not to be aware of anything that is causing us discomfort, and that is the cause of the disease. I'm not saying that anything is going to be cured overnight or even over a year with meditation or yoga or something like that. I'm just saying that the more we can practice awareness, the less we will suffer. Even though it seems very at odds, because why would being aware of our suffering make it less so? Well, that's one of the kind of secrets that you just have to experience it to understand it. But it is definitely a fundamental truth of this existence. And if you think you can't meditate, I understand it feels difficult, but remember that those feelings of difficulty and meditation, that very feeling is the solution. That very feeling is what you can tend to, what you can recognize, and to watch with detachment and practice that detachment. It's not going to come immediately. You do have to practice that, and that's why it's called a practice. And there's so many people who say they can't practice meditation, but the fact is that meditation is simply being aware. So are you aware of hearing my voice right now? Yes or no? If your answer is no, then I would say you probably aren't listening to this video at all. But if your answer is yes, then that means you can meditate, because you can be aware. And that's why what makes humans so special, and other kinds of animals too, but especially humans, because we have this evolved awareness, and we have a use for that awareness. And meditation is only a cultivation of that, to be able to develop that further. We already have the necessary tools for meditation. So I've been going on a lot about meditation, I'm sorry, but I think it's important for this group, okay? So anyway, let's get to your tarot cards. We're gonna use, I forgot what this is called, but it's beautiful. This golden tarot. I found it on Rosology's channel. She's such an inspiration for me, by the way. I have many inspirations who I'll probably mention in future videos and who might even be watching now, and who I send lots of love to. But anyway, let's get your past, your present, and your future. And in between readings, I did do some clearing and some grounding because there was a lot of powerful energy in these readings today. Y'all are very, very, very powerful individuals. All right. Oh, I meant to put that back first. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune in your past. I'll come back to it in a second. So let's do the present and future. And the advice, please. Feel free to skip over this. Probably would take a 45 seconds to another minute. Maybe a little less. Let's do clarify with that past and future advice, please. I need to shuffle again. All right. So with the Wheel of Fortune here in reversed, I feel like there was a lot of tumultuous times in your past. There was things that you did not expect, did not predict to happen, that did happen. They came to pass, and the wheel did not turn in the way that you thought it was going to. It was like you were expecting one thing and something else completely came and slapped you in the face. Like it was something you didn't have any control over. It had nothing to do with you, really. You know, a lot of things we do have control over, but remember that energy works in very interesting ways, especially there's a lot of energy we cannot control. And not just because it's just like how the universe is, but other people exist, right? So they send out energy into the world, whether they mean to or not, whether they're intentionally doing like spell work or intention work or something like that, or they're not. They're always sending out energy, and that energy accumulates and travels. And you know, when energy hits its, you know, when this energy and this energy hits each other in a certain way, then it can create a ripple and a wave, and it can affect other people, even when there is no intention behind that whatsoever to affect anybody else. It just happens like that, okay? So yeah, there was definitely a big energetic wave, or many, that hits you. Maybe you kind of, your energy magnetizes that for other reasons. And so, and it really affected, it could have affected your health. It could have affected your abundance. I see that you've always been somebody who really who tends to their physical world very carefully. Maybe you keep things very clean. Maybe you're just somebody who is very nurturing and caring. Maybe you give great hugs. That's what I'm hearing, is you give really wonderful hugs. Maybe you have a garden, or maybe you would like to have a garden. But regardless, maybe there was actually a hurricane. Maybe you live in a hurricane place, or a place where there's typhoons, and your garden got wrecked or something like that once. Obviously, that doesn't have to be. In this pile too, I do see another animal spirit. It could have been a dog, but maybe it's a rabbit. But also, I think that physical affection has always been very important to you, and that's not a bad thing. It depends on the person, and our love language is totally valid regardless of what it is. And maybe people have shamed you for that in the past, that you're too physical, or you know, but and of course we do need to balance our love languages in an authentic way, but we're always going to have a primary love language. That's what I'm saying. So maybe you're very physical, with how it doesn't have to be sexual, but it could be. But anyway, I see there was these powerful changes in your body. Maybe when you got older, a lot of things changed for you, and the way that you saw the physical world around you really changed. Maybe things started to feel less safe because you felt like, wow, if this big event happened and could change things so drastically for me, then literally anything could happen and literally anything could come crashing down. Yeah. And it's like, I really feel like this happened multiple times. There were multiple different incidents. You might be a Leo. I'm definitely getting Leo energy, but also Taurus. Um, These roses are sticking out to me a lot. So I already talked about it sort of because of the love language, like I said. But I'll have to come back to that because I'm really not sure. But maybe roses mean something special to you. I love using roses with candle spells, just to bring love to a situation. So maybe that's something you would like to do. The fact that she's wearing this red surrounded by green, is also sticking out to me because that means that she is grounded in her passion. She is very passionate, but she's also super grounded, super realistic about it. And maybe that realism is not always, I mean, it is a gift, but it doesn't always present itself as a gift, because sometimes we can take realism too far, and then we don't allow ourselves to dream. And maybe we go a little too slow in what we're trying to create. Okay. So in your present, so this is about giving. It's about, so this is a rich man giving to the poor, right? So maybe in the present, you feel like people you're a little bit dependent, or maybe people are dependent on you. And you're just trying your best to either be humble in giving or be humble in receiving, and staying grateful. And I don't see this as a problem necessarily. I just see this as, what it is. And also, I see this as you giving to yourself. And I see this is different parts of you. This is like the kind of outside part of you, and this is more of like your heart. And you're paying attention more to the outside because that's the part of you that people see. But your heart is desiring more, and it doesn't feel like it's being treated fairly. Okay. We have the Two of Wands. Okay. So, I think your heart is wanting to get out, to go to different places, to travel, to see new things, to have new experiences. And you are so focused on creating this abundance where you are, being rooted in where you are, that you haven't thought about how you can go to other places, do different things, and really change things up. And I think that's what your heart is truly wanting, is to change things up and to find new experiences. Despite your past, you've always been so grounded, so realistic, so needing things to be really good where you are, and not wanting to change anything, because if you do, what if it messes up the status quo and then everything comes crashing down on you? But I think Spirit is telling you right now that that's not what's going to happen. And your heart is truly desiring to get out of this box that you've created for yourself, okay? So we have in the future the Five of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Wands reversed. Okay, and right now on my music, Harry Styles is playing. What's this song called? As It Was, such a good song. I wish I could play it, but copyright. Anyway, so with the five, we have so much pentacle energy on this board with wands energy. So maybe you have a lot of fire and earth in your chart, your birth chart. But anyway, I see that this is in the future. You are healing. You're healing something that you've been trying to heal for a very long time. And that's taking so long. Whatever this was that made you feel insecure, that made you feel like all you could do is focus on your stability where you are and not change anything up. That's healing. That's already the direction you're going in, really. I think there's this fear, though, of the unknown, of venturing out of what you know. And that's something that Spirit and Universe is really trying to get you to face and to try to... I'm not saying you need to change yourself or anything like that, but it is something to work with and try to shift, to redirect. Okay? Because I think your experience of life is going to be much better when you do. And like I said in group number 1, the only person who has to live and experience your life is you. So there's no reason why we need to keep ourselves limited, why we need to always think in a certain way or believe in a certain way about our future and about our present. Because a lot of times it's because people have told us that's what we should do, or they have taught us that for that in some way or another, but they aren't living our lives. They aren't living your life. You are living your life. And it is completely logical. It makes perfect sense to start thinking in a way that's beneficial to you, that's positive for you, because you're the only one who's experiencing this life. So why would you think in any other way? And I know it's not as simple as that, trust me, I know. But, so this is your advice. We have the Fool reversed, and we have the Page of Coins, the Page of Pentacles. So the Fool here, this isn't like, there's a lot of things that are telling me right now, you need to take risks. You need to take crazy risks that you would have never considered before, because it's going to lead you to something much better, to something much more fulfilling. And because right now you might not feel so fulfilled. You might feel like you're just going with the status quo, giving yourself as much as you need to give yourself to survive, and that's it. But that's not what life is for. Your life is not just for survival. Your life is to enjoy. So in order to do that, you have to start taking new risks. And we have more animal spirits here. I really do think in this pile as well, there's a dog from your childhood, or maybe even a spirit guide, a wolf, a jaguar, something like a four-legged cat or dog sort of animal, right? That watches over you. Maybe you want to go to Florida. Maybe you want to go to somewhere where they grow oranges, where there's lots of sun. I'm hearing also Costa Rica. Madagascar. I don't know if they grow oranges in Madagascar, but I did hear that. Anyway, what is in your bag here? I think this guy, he didn't take as much time as he usually does to pack. He didn't plan as much as he usually would, because in that way, he couldn't psych himself out of not leaving. He couldn't think himself into saying, oh no, what if I do this and the status quo is interrupted and everything falls apart? No. He's going out and he's healing himself, and he is starting to experience his life in a completely new way, because he's not letting himself overthink it. Okay, he's not letting himself get too tied down anymore. This Page of Pentacle reversed is stumping me a little bit, but you might be starting you might even be starting a new career. So it's not necessarily travel that I'm talking about. It could be just metaphorical, like you're starting a new career, you're starting a new way of living, a new way of making a living that's completely new to you, and it feels risky. And you have to remember that you're not always going to be good at it. It's not like you're going to immediately succeed at everything, and you cannot let that fact scare you into going back to your old ways of living, just this 9 to 5 normal life that you aren't content with. Because there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but if that's not how you're content, then it's not for you. And for a lot of you, it isn't for you. Okay. Lay your weapons down. There's a lot of defensiveness. I'm just feeling that here. Lay your weapons down. Nobody is going after you. What you have to remember that people are just going out for themselves, and you are allowed to do that too. But you don't need to come at things in a defensive way. I think the more you come at things with love, the easier things are going to be for you, and the less fear you'll experience in these new ventures. Okay, so let's get a witch's oracle and then a green witch's oracle. For group 3, please. Give me a green witch's oracle, or a witch's oracle, please. Spirit. Oof, too many. Book of Shadows. So some of you might be into doing magic, or maybe you are considering, look, the roses, considering magical work. Again, I really do think that if you do engage in magical practice and maybe even candle spells, maybe rose is the ingredient that you're missing. Maybe adding a little bit of love to your candles is what you're missing, and that will really help you. I think also there's something about sources of wisdom, sources of ancient wisdom that can help you in what you're going to do next in your life. And just remember that it's not always going to be light. There's a lot of times there's only going to be a little bit of light. And what I mean by that is it's not always going to be clear what you have to do. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit fuzzy, and you're going to have to keep moving forward anyway, and just try your best, because the only way we're going to get to the daylight is to get through the night. Okay? And I feel like make a note of things that are helpful for you. Sometimes I think I do the same thing, is that maybe sometimes we find things that are helpful for us, and then we kind of forget about them because we don't make a note of them. I know I do that. So let's get a green witch's oracle. Number 3. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Is this serious? They're even the same rose. You saw me pick this card, did you not? I don't know if you did. But oh my god. Holy shit. Thank you, Spirit, for this very loud message. I love it. Pink rose, gratitude. So bringing gratitude into your life is super important. Okay. Oh, I forgot what the sign was, but we'll find out in the book. Yeah, something about casting a circle. You might want to cast circles more when you do any magical practice, or if you start a magical practice, casting a circle might be important for you. Definitely integrate using flowers. But let's look at what this says, 36. Pink rose. I've always felt having a garden is like having a good and loyal friend. CZ Gust. Oracle meanings. There is reason to be thankful, and help is on its way to balance energies. Pink roses will show you that ways to happiness are opening for you, and there will be a reason to be joyful. Something of value is in focus and at present, and Something of value is in focus at present. This could be an exchange of a gift or a windfall or the sale of a large item or simply discussion around it. Be careful that you do not interfere where you're not welcome and be wary of legal deception. Magical correspondences for pink rose. Uses: joy, admiration, sympathy, sweetness, gentleness. Deities: Chloris, Flora, Adonis, Aurora, Cupid, Venus, Aphrodite, Eros, Horus, Demeter. Celestial body is Venus, and astrological sign is Gemini. Okay. So you might be a Gemini, somebody else might be a Gemini. You might just, maybe something is coming in Gemini season. Maybe these changes are coming for you in Gemini season. So gratitude spell. Ooh, this is actually something that I'm going to do. So use this spell for after another magical working has been successful. Oh my gosh. Find a beautiful tree somewhere lovely and tie 9 fresh pink roses with pink ribbon to the branches around the tree. Say, I give you these roses to share with the earth, with thanks and with love. That is so awesome. That is so cool. I'm gonna do that for sure. I hope that helps you. But anyway, Group 3, this has been super cool. All of the readings today have been super cool, but this one was very synchronistic across the board. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon so you can get all the notifications. Go to my Instagram, instagram.com/birds.eye.tarot, tarot. Okay, and follow me there. Send me a message if you would like a personal reading. I would love to help you out. You can also go to my website to see my prices, which do change occasionally, by the way. My website is birds-eye-tarot.com. Okay, so have a wonderful day, everybody. See you next time. Bye.